What's going on, everybody? I am here for another review, and that is Out of Darkness. This movie is about, without spoilers, it's about Netherland type people, and they're trying to travel to this cave to find a home. They have no food, they're cold, they're hungry, and they find this cave that is very far away from their location. The distance that they're at, it's going to take them 3 to 4 days to get to that cave. So as they travel forward, they run into this big, long stretch of forest. Pretty much everyone is opposed to going through the forest. One of the Netherland people, and again, I'm not sure if that's who these people are, but it is heavily implied that's the types that these characters are, but they never say who they are. So one of them suggests to go all the way around the forest, and another person says that's going to take another 2 days. It's going to add on to our time, and we don't have enough food to make it that long, and we're very cold, and we're going to die if we don't make it to that cave sooner. So they end up deciding to go around, and then a little boy in the group gets captured at night. The father of the son is the one that is kidnapped, so he wants to go after his son and find him, so they wait until daylight. They go in there, they realize it was a bad idea, but they ran too far into the woods, they get lost, they don't know how to get out. So then the movie turns into a survival film of them trying to get out of the woods. And this is where I have to give you a spoiler warning, because the rest of the review will have to jump into spoilers so you can understand the points in my grade. Would I recommend this movie if you don't want it spoiled and you want to know before I start the spoilers? Probably not, because of the ending. And the trailers are very misleading, and it's not what the trailers portray this film to be. So now we are going to jump into spoilers. After the little boy is kidnapped, there's an encounter that happens at night and an attack and these noises they hear. So he runs out into the woods to figure out what it is, because they've been lost in the woods now for like a whole day. So he runs into the woods, he comes back pretty much dead, because he comes back with his jaw all messed up, and they heard like these loud creature sounds in the woods. And then they start to betray each other, and then you have that really obnoxious character that makes a ton of bad decisions that just annoy you to death. And jumping forward, a couple of them die. You keep thinking it's a creature, and then we finally get to the cave. Once we get to the cave, we learn that it wasn't creatures in the woods hunting them down. The bones that they had saw were not from an animal or dinosaur or creature. It was from cave people, barbaric types. And you find out that they're the ones that kidnapped the boy and dragged him all the way to the cave. And that's where I fault the film very heavily, is the false advertising in this movie made it seem like a mythical monster film, and it wasn't. You find out they're like Moheathan caveman types. So you figure out that the boy was kidnapped by them. They wanted to take care of him. When they kidnapped him, they were going around the woods, adding a day. So are you trying to tell me that these cave people traveled 3 days away from their cave, grabbed this little boy, then dragged him all the way back, and traveled 3 more days just to take care of this guy, on top of being outnumbered? Because the Netherland people, there was like 6 or 7 of them. The cave people, there's only 2. There's a female and a male. They would never travel that far away from their cave. They would never even travel that far to come and take care of a little boy. And worst of all, they would never attack a group larger than them. Another gripe I have is when you figure out that these are cave people, one of them is wearing like a crow mask, like they're a bird. And when it comes off, it's the female, and she screeches really loud, and her screech is kind of interesting and unique, and it sounds animalistic. And they tried to imply that she's the one that made the monster noises the night the father of the son got killed. I don't buy that, because the noises were extremely exaggerated. There's no way that she made this noise and then their way of explaining it is, oh no, she made this noise. Those 2 noises do not match up. There's no way a human being can make those noises. If there were 3 to 5 cave people and they all made that kind of noise, and maybe a couple of them had flutes, I could buy into that. So to get to the point, basically the little boy gets saved by one of the other Netherland people, and they kill the cave people. And then the little boy's very upset about them killing the cave people, somehow him being away from them for 3 days. He completely doesn't want to be around them anymore. He's had a change of heart, and it's like, you've only been gone 3 days, man. Like, it was like me being kidnapped and going to another country, and then I hate my country because I was, not in the US for 72 hours. And I'm like, I hate America. This place treats me so much better. I never want to go back and see my friends or family again. This family that kidnapped me took such better care of me. I don't want to be around my original family because I've been away from them for 72 hours. I thought the writing in this was dull. The characters were dull. The marketing was manipulative. The outcome was just like, oh, okay, it's interesting. I give them credit for doing something different, but don't market it the way you did and then just have it be Netherland people. It was very disappointing. I think a lot of people are going to have the same complaint I do. They do have a cool idea, but even in this idea that's original, the movie really wasn't that great. There were moments that just dragged on too long. It wasn't fleshed out in a way that kept you really engaged. You were just kind of curious where it was gonna go, but you weren't excited about it. The characters were very dull. One of them was really annoying. The film is very beautiful. The location they filmed at is great. The cinematography is the best part of the film. The color palettes they used are really good for this environment, and they really pop on screen. Like, they look gorgeous. They are very good shots, and the camera work in this is incredible. Props to that team, but that doesn't save the bad writing. You're not going to be very invested in the people. You're more invested in the movement of what's happening in hopes that it pays off, and sadly it doesn't, which is why I cannot recommend this movie. Not a terrible movie, but not a good movie either. I'm going to grade Out of Darkness a C. Well, that does it for this review, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I have more reviews coming up. I appreciate all of you who tune in to my reviews. If you haven't, and this is your first video, please hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you movie fans on my next review.